kind of roll in. So once we have like over 150 people in here, then I'll officially kick us off.
Of
But
course.
for now, we're just chilling and we are waiting. But yeah, this is gonna be exciting because like, does Illustrious do realism good or not really?
Yes, that this is the main flaw I want to talk about the Illustrious. That is absolutely terrible at generating realistic stuff, because you basically need a realistic checkpoint and then you need to use realistic LoRA. It's this like this one. This one is actually made for. I came gave this get this idea before the stream. Not plan.
Let me
Actually, that
see.
was not planned. This one has completely 100% realistic data, and
Ah, okay.
to get a good preview image, it was still easier to use anime LoRa and generate anime dog than use something realistic to get a realistic one. Even though this has 100% realistic data, it is still easier to generate anime.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Well, we'll dive into that once people get in here. Waiting for everyone to come in. Daz, what's up, buddy? What are we waiting for? We are waiting for you. That's what we're waiting for. We are waiting for you. Schmeed, what's up, man? I see that you are watching us on Twitter. Welcome. Come over to Twitch, bro. If you wanna take part in the chat, this is gonna be that I'm really excited for this one, but we'll give everyone else a minute to kind of roll in here because it just hit 3 p.m. So yeah. Um yeah, guys, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be a good one. And okay, so we already got a decent amount of people in here. So guys, I told you what we were doing yesterday, but today got a super special Civitai guest creator stream. And this one is like really a Civitai guest creator stream because my man right here, Shrekman 17, is currently ranked number 1 on the Civitai concept creator leaderboard, right? You're currently number 1 on the concept creator leaderboard.
Yes, mostly because I converted most of my concept from Pony into Illustrious, and just by sheer number of concepts, I got the rank 1.
There's the hack. There's the hack, guys. There's the hack. But
Yes,
okay.
You all need to have the 200 LoRa's backlog from previous model.
so yeah, guys, I don't want to waste too much time with me just blabbing because I'm really excited to hear everything that Shrekman wants to share with us today regarding Illustrious and Pony, especially since you guys know that I am a Flux enjoyer, and that's what we usually do on the stream here. So, Shrekman, before we dive into it, why don't you tell the people who you are, what you do, and what you want to talk about with us today?
So I will start. So we start why the name Shrekman, because I am sure that someone will ask about it. I basically got to the site by my friend wanted to start a D&D campaign, and we wanted to generate portraits for our characters. I have zero expectation for the site, so I put something stupid like and it was Shrekman 17. But I actually really enjoyed the site, and I'm just rolling with it with this since then. So I'm doing basically every possible kind of LoRa that came to my mind, mostly concepts, because I think that they are the most fun to do. Both for Flux and Illustrious, but for now mostly Illustrious because it's the easiest way to get Buzz back.
You heard it from him. You heard it from him. And just so you guys know what we're talking about here, Shrekman currently has 258 models / LoRa / assets on his profile available for people to download or use on Civit. I'm going to put the link to Shrekman's profile in the chat so you guys can follow him if you are not already. And the resources that he has created have more than 69,000 downloads and more than 300,000 generations. So Shrekman knows some stuff. But you reached out to me about coming on the stream, and I thought it was a great idea. Why don't you tell them what you would like to talk about today?
Yes, so basically the main reason why I reached to you is because I was at the stream when they Ali talked about introducing Illustrious to the site. So we got when it was uploaded, it as Ali said, it was outdated at the moment when it went outside. So we got version 0.1. When it was uploaded, it should be 0.3. I don't know what is the current version, but we already have proper checkpoints on site that show what Illustrious is actually capable of. Because if you want, if you're gonna try Illustrious right now, try to use the LoRA, try to use the base model that you get, the 0.1, you will see absolutely terrible results, both in generation with 0.1 and when training LoRA. When you train LoRA, that was you're gonna on site, you will use 0.1 by default. So every time you can train the LoRA on site, without knowing that, you will think the LoRA is failed because the results will look absolutely terrible. But as soon as you got to on-site generation and switch from 0.1 to the proper checkpoint, you instantly see what actually is this LoRA capable of. But I still think that people don't give Illustrious enough credit because the opinion of the Illustrious can be tainted by the 0.1 as the default model, and a lot of people will see Illustrious as just anime model. I think it's perfectly capable of generating semi-realistic style. I think the full realism and photorealism is Illustrious' main weakness. I know that people were doing proper checkpoint for realistic generations from Illustrious, but I still don't know it to this point that I think it's worth it. I still think that Pony is way better with generating stuff that is realistic, and Illustrious have is very gravitated towards the anime. But so if you want to generate something non-anime, you actually always need a style LoRA for this. But if you really into generating anime stuff, you basically don't need LoRA for this. Illustrious has a very strong anime style by itself. The problem is when you want to generate something that is not anime.
Awesome. Well, wherever you want to get started, man, that's where we can go.
So I want to start by showing not this folder. The examples, what I mean by you will think of those images that you will think that is failed. So this is image that that pops out of training of my dog photobomb LoRA. When you see something like this, you think that the model is absolute abomination and is cool. You should delete it and never upload this on the site. This is what you get out of 0.1 training results. It's basically those images are basically eldritch horrors. So this is another problem with 0.1 as base model, because choosing epoch is basically basically as good as blind guess. You basically have to choose upload. If you are doing everything on site like me, you basically have to upload upload the epoch one by one, and unless you're gonna see at first try that this is the one, it does what it's supposed to do.
So but just to so people know, Shrekman is doing everything on site. Because I asked him prior to the stream starting, if he does all of his stuff locally, and he said that he currently doesn't have any of this stuff set up locally. So he's doing everything, the LoRA training, the generation, he's doing all of it on site.
Yes. And there is not a problem that is trained on 0.1. Those are perfectly fine working LoRa's. But the problem is that if you're trying to get into training on site with Illustrious LoRa's, you will get something like this, and you think that you made an absolute LoRa that is good for nothing. Because those look like the first iteration of AI that is known to man. That
I mean, they're charming in their own way, you know.
yes, they are broke. They are broken in so many ways that you can think about. Everything that you can think that can go wrong with AI generation, this is what you get out of 0.1. I think I have another example.
So big distinction there. So takeaway number one is if you guys are doing anything on Illustrious, you want to make sure you're using version, what was it? 0.3?
0.3 is not on site. 0. We have as a base Illustrious, we have 0.1, and you basically, but that is currently at third most used. But we already have a multitude of checkpoints that are way better than 0.1 that are made based of newer Illustrious version, and all you have to do to see to get a proper use of Illustrious is to pick one of the proper checkpoints.
And when you say pick the proper checkpoint, you're talking about picking this when you train the LoRa or just when you're generating?
No. When you're training, it will be 0.1. It is
Gotcha.
currently at this at the default model of the site, and it usually it's not a problem that it's trained on 0.1. The problem is that where you actually want to generate with it. So it's basically all it takes to switch each to another checkpoint.
And do you have a couple Illustrious checkpoints that you can recommend to the people that you really like using that are kind of get you the results that you get?
It's basically often so I'm usually using the first one, the why not safe for work. Yes, it's perfectly capable of generating safe for work images, and is currently probably the most fine-tuned on Illustrious checkpoint, because it is version 9.0, while the base Illustrious, which is this one, is still 0.1.
Got it.
Well, yes, just like I was saying before the stream, like we have Pony V6 that has the big disclaimer. Start with this one. This one should have a disclaimer. Don't use this one. This is the first iteration of Illustrious. So yes, it is very underwhelming, and this is the model that a lot of people will have. This experience with Illustrious tainted because this is the base model that they will get. And this is the exact same reason why after first try I gave up for Illustrious for something like a month, and after the month something happened and I gave it another shot and finally understand what was wrong with my LoRa training.
I'll bring this up to the team. I wonder why we don't have 0.3 on the site. If there's a specific reason.
Yes, so that's another reason that I wanted to do the stream, because maybe that will move something in the direction of putting a better base model of Illustrious, because it is mainly the problem for people that are doing everything on site. Because
got it.
It's because I basically have to guess what epoch is the best one. So basically every checkpoint that you see on the top row will perform way better than 0.1. My favorite are Pass Sanctuary, Hasaku, and Why Not Safe for Work. Of course, as usually, Not Safe for Work model is the most developed one that is on site. To surprise of absolutely nobody.
Got it. Well, I'm putting in the request. I'll try to get that ball rolling for you guys.
So I generated a lot of previews that is using one of the. I was basically trying to get basically the same image with Pony, Flux, and Illustrious. So I have I basically prepared the bunch of elemental LoRAs that are for Illustrious. So Illustrious will recognize a lot of elementals by itself because they have a tag on Danboru that has over 1,100 entries, and I think I said it before the stream. So because we know that Illustrious is trained out of Danboru data, we know that it should generate stuff that has over 100 entries on Danboru, but you still can't be 100% sure to apply this rule. And as the more LoRa's you're gonna put in, the less likely is to get the image that is baked in a base model. You basically can get lost in the LoRa's. And some characters have so many entries that you can put whatever the amount of LoRa's you want, and you will still get that character. Something like very strong character example is like your Briar from Spike's family. You basically always get the Yor by typing Yor because so many entries of her on Danboru. So this is one of the few. This is one of the examples on a few things that I think Illustrious is even better than Flux, and those are hands. So I genuinely kind of like how this picture turned out, but those hands are absolutely unsalvageable. Like there is everything wrong with this hand that can go all wrong. I basically was trying to get the same image. Yes, at least they are holding the hammer, at least. But I am not even sure what number of fingers is what was that supposed to be.
Hey, man, I'm counting 5 fingers there.
Yes, but at least on the top side. At least on this hand. What I don't know what happened to this one. I actually think that Illustrious has the best hands from currently models. Yes, hand holding is something that only Illustrious can do. Because every other model will give you the weird blob of hands mashed together. And the LoRA that I showed you, where was it? That Sword Clash. I don't think any pony will be absolutely incapable of getting this model because it involves safe for work scenarios that involves holding objects. That is a recipe for disaster for pony. Yes, this one. And for Illustrious, it works just fine. I am sure that is near impossible to train LoRA like that for pony. Because what I think Illustrious actually excels at is holding objects and scenes with multiple characters. That is actually safe for work scenario. because trying to get that on Pony is such a massive headache that I just refuse to do it. When I want to generate some safer work group picture, I always go for Illustrious or Flags, because for Pony is just fighting against the horniest possible model.
That's a great picture.
And data for it was actually harder to find than I expected. I actually expected that you just pop sword clash and you get 1,000 pictures of it. Actually, no. I had to actually generate some pictures to make the proper version 1.1, and this is for now one of my favorite LoRas that shows what actually is Illustrious good at.
Yeah, dude, these are sick.
Like, and every character that you see is done without the LoRA. So
these are without character LoRas.
Yes. So for Pony, we actually have the list of characters that Pony is capable of generating. For Flags, Kiev Tiger made the list, and mostly it works just what Kiev Tiger dig up, but just like you said, when you try to get a Morty, you get a Rick looking one, and for example, it should also generate Skeletor from He-Man, but it usually will get you purple looking He-Man. So this is still not a perfect list, but I think Tiger made a great job with making this because it's really helpful. Like, of course, it is perfect at generating Shrek, but when you see that you have just like the comment I put at one of your models, that Shrek is great mining canary for training Flux LoRA, because if you see that Shrek has a popping out human ears, then you see that LoRA is overtrained. This is the case for Flux, and I don't think any other model you can say something like that.
Real quick before we continue, guys, I'm going to put the article that so I see a Illustrious XL recognized characters list from Cell 1310. And then
Scream. Is that the list? Because I think that he still is, that he made a list that is mostly focused on male characters, because everyone knows what I will check that.
Gotcha. Can you is that the one?
Yes, is that the one?
Okay.
And
so
yes,
there's that one, and then before we continue too, just so you guys have it, I am also Shrekman left a comment because I posted my Morty from Rick and Morty LoRA last night that I told you guys I was working on, and it works perfectly. I got Morty with some insane diamond grills, but he commented on my LoRA this morning and let me know that KF Tiger also made a list of characters that are natively in Flux so that I don't double train character LoRA that I don't have to. So I just put that list in the chat for you guys as well.
So sorry if I butcher your name, but Unselin23 said that it theoretically should work with artist tag. I have not tried it yet, but I think Ink is it. But what I said, it should work, but I never tried it because I want to keep my generations not really related to the particular artist style, because I still I don't know how to say it, but I don't want to create something that really looks like a work of some other independent artist.
And because I respect that.
Yes, so I basically prefer to either train the style of the games or try to mix some LoRas to create something new and some new and unique styles. But the problem is that this process takes a lot of effort and buzz. So making the original style for AI, it takes some time, and uh, depending of method that you choose, it can take like 5 or not even above 10,000 of bus to do it properly. And it's not something that that every user can do, because you just you just don't throw 10,000 bus every day. They are training one LoRa, and you still not guaranteed to make it successful, because I still looking for a process that should be the best of making the LoRa out of combining other styles LoRa into a new style. Recently, I started doing this by using. When I met it first time, it was out of pony pictures and was mostly of portraits. So that was a good mix for portraits, but was really problematic to generate something above the portraits, unless I use that data to train the Flux LoRa. The Flux style trained on just portraits generated from Pony was able to generate me way more advanced images than just portraits. And out of this Flux LoRa, I could build up and make a new, better version. But generating like 50 proper images that are good enough to put in the data from Flux, it takes incredible amount of bus, like 5,000 is 5,000 is an absolute minimum to get something like that. And then you need another 2,000 bus to actually train that LoRa for Flux.
Got it. So just to throw it out there, guys, I tend to forget because I stopped. I only started training LoRa's with Flux. I tend to forget how much cheaper everything else, like Illustrious and Pony, is than Flux, and that's probably why there's so many more assets and resources available on the site for it, and the people at the top of the leaderboards tend to pump out so much for those because of how much cheaper it is to train them Buzz. And so that's really great for me to hear, because it's just something I don't really think about, because I got into the image side of things really when Flux came out, because Flux made me excited for everything. But when I'm browsing the site and I see like there's always some Illustrious LoRa that catches my eye, and I'm like, damn, but it's not for Flux.
Yes, maybe it's not needed for Flux.
What are there any tips you can give anyone that wants to get into training Illustrious LoRa's for like best practices to get the most out of what they're training?
Basically, it's just easiest to start by training a style or character LoRa. Those are absolutely the easiest. Concepts, it really depends on of what available data you have and how advanced is the scene you want to generate. So basically, for style is just like was done in the KF Tiger streams. Just put 30 images, run one tag, auto tag, and you're done. This is the whole process of making the style LoRa. For concepts, you actually have to start with the proper idea that is worth doing, and then finding the data for it. And concepts usually need way more tagging than just a one tag and an auto tag.
Do you have any examples in the trainer that maybe we could take a look at some of the training settings, just so people can get an idea of kind of like what route they should go when they're training in Illustrious LoRa?
That's yes, the last LoRa I trained was the dog photobomb. So I will just import the data for it.
KF Tiger just chimed in. What's up, KF? He said you just need a lot more images for Pony and Illustrious style. So what would be like the range that people should be trying to curate their data set in for a good Illustrious LoRA for, let's say, a character?
For a character, I will say the bare minimum is 20. But you're starting to get a stable LoRA out of usually about 30 images. I just I just saw that someone uses about 900 for styles, and I think especially for styles is absolute overkill. You just putting more time that is worth it. The styles will usually get around 30 to 50, and it's no. I don't see, unless you want to train styles with something like putting both style and like character pack, then it's worth to go above 50. But if you just want the style, everything above 50, if it feels for me feels like overkill. That is, but maybe they are more flexible. But usually, for me, 50, 30 is enough, and 50 is very 50 already will be very flexible LoRa. So basically, all the data I have, maybe except for Slam from Berserk, because it can be questionable for Twitch. Everything every other is perfectly safe for work, so we can look at every data that you want to look at. The last one from Doc is here.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you think would be a good example.
So we can start with Doc. I actually start currently training it for Pony. It should be done. Probably it should be done already, because I think it is. It will be work better for Pony, because it's mostly real. Not mostly. It's 100% realistic pictures.
How much success with the Illustrious LoRAs do you have with the auto tagger on the site versus having to manually go in and tag yourself?
I basically always auto tag. It mostly depends on how much tag I prepare before running auto tag. Because when I train Flux LoRAs, I usually also put every caption manually. But for Illustrious, just like something between 1 on 4, 5 tags, and then running auto tag is usually enough for most of the concepts. So the only important change that I'm doing with the base settings from on site is getting to between 1,800 and 2,000 steps. It is also, I think, for most concepts, above 2,000 steps is overkill. The only moment when I use over 2,000 steps is when I try to do a LoRa that has multiple concepts in it that I want to train separately. And this is when I put train batch size to 1, and then go for the number of repeats and epochs that I think will be a proper for this multi-concept LoRa.
Just for people that don't know, is there an easy way to explain what number of repeats is?
I think that what you get on site is perfectly explanation. It's basically how many times the training process will put this image, every single image that is on the data. So when you have 10 repeats, each image will be analyzed 10 times. So I basically this is basically how I understand number of repeats.
And is there a so I saw as you were doing as you were altering your epochs, you also edited your number of repeats. Is there a method to what number you're picking there? Is there like something that makes you choose a certain number for the number of repeats?
Basically, I just want to have 50 epochs, and then I just increase number of repeats to get at least that 1,800 steps.
Gotcha. Okay, so your magic number for epochs is 15, and then you get the repeats up to hit the number of steps. Got it.
Yes, and basically this is everything that you need for on-site training for Illustrious and Pony. For most of LoRa's, especially characters and styles, those are all the steps you actually need to take, and everything on you can keep with the default settings on that we have on site. The only thing that I also always do is shuffle tags, and I want to show something that was implemented recently, that you can put the main trigger word here and it will be kept for sure. So the shuffle, basically LoRa's usually train better when you have when the tags are shuffled and the trainer knows what is the tag that you actually want to focus on. So then if you put your trigger word here, I'm just gonna remove this because Twitch can get this. Even this is perfectly censored by the dog. I think that Twitch can overreact on it. I think you can, as far as I understand, keeping shuffling tags makes trainers understand better what tag you actually want to train.
Okay, so because it's keeping the trigger in the front and then it's shuffling the rest of the tags.
Yes.
Got it.
And those are basically the only changes I'm doing with the base settings.
Do you guys ever get amazed when you're like waiting for someone to reveal some like magical setting that's just going to make all your LoRa's come out perfect and incredible, and then they just like change 2 numbers and they're like, and everything else you could just keep on default? Do you guys ever get shocked at that? Because I feel like that's kind of how the KF streams went too.
Yes. Yes, and I basically learned how to properly make LoRa's out of Key of Tiger streams, and then experimenting on my own. Basically, that's all you need to know. Just watch a Key of Tiger streams and go train a LoRa. With style and character, it's almost impossible to fail on default settings. Just by putting those stems on the right number.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, and I see you guys commenting in the chat right now about how decent the Civitai defaults are. I remember the thing that kept me from trying to train a LoRa in 1.5 when we were still using Warp Fusion and stuff was because I was watching some of my friends train LoRa's on their local installations of Koya, and it just looked so complicated. And I was watching the chart on their screens, just like, and they're like, nope, the LoRa, this LoRa is no good. Start it again, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't, nothing in me wants to do this.
Yes, I want to. Sadly, I want to learn Koya at some point because from what I know, this is the best way to trade a checkpoint for now.
Yes,
and I think I've done enough LoRa's that I want to take another step and finally try to make my own checkpoint. Especially that I think Illustrious needs more checkpoints. For Pony, you basically already have a checkpoint for everything you want. And I think Illustrious mainly needs checkpoints that are not anime oriented, because you already will generate everything that you want on the anime style with the base Illustrious and every other major checkpoint. Because it's so much based with anime style by itself, by training on that borrowed data.
Okay, so let me ask you this. All buzz cost being equal, what, like, let's just imagine a world where Flux was not so much more expensive to generate with on site. What would you use Illustrious for over Flux, and what would you use Flux for over Illustrious? Is it the anime and photorealism switch off right now?
For Pony,
Or for Pony 2?
Basically, for Pony, if the costs were equal, I basically probably would just use Illustrious or Flux, because I think that everything that Pony does better than Illustrious, Flux does better than Pony. Unless you want a realistic, not safe for work stuff, then the Pony is the best for that. But let's just skip that part for the stream.
Got it. So I do remember you saying that you wanted to show some differences of stuff that was trained with Pony and Illustrious using the exact same data set, just to give people a fair comparison between the two.
Yes, and
so we're not just throwing random Pony slander out there.
Yes, I still think Pony is way better than in realism, and I'm not coming here to say that Illustrious is new Pony is absolutely better than everything. No, I think the Illustrious is a great alternative for Pony, especially if you count out the fact that, as far as I know, Pony 7 will also be not tag but caption based. As far as I understand the last interviews with Pony creator, it is train. If I understand correctly, Pony 7 is based of Aura Flow, that is also caption based. So the Pony 7 will also be a natural language.
And Not the Ninja says he has Illustrious and Pony versions of his LoRAs, and Illustrious simply learns and works better in general. So you are not alone in your sentiment, Shrekman.
Yes, I like for the LoRAs that I prepared are this bunch of elemental LoRAs. I think in every case, Illustrious turned out better, because and basically all the Pony versions I've done was to prove the point that Illustrious does better on this stuff. So it in general catches abstract concepts way better. It is you can all of those LoRAs I basically done just by going to Pinterest, putting something like earth elemental, getting like 50 images, and it works. For Pony, those LoRAs struggle way more, and it's way harder to generate something actually interesting that with the Pony versions. So I have prepared. So those are the examples that I made. This is the Flux version. I tried to use Gwen style of the Witcher card game Gwen for all the images, but it somehow clashed on Illustrious. So Illustrious have a different style. So this is what came out of trying to get this image out of Flux with Gwen style. And
I'm really curious. What does the community
and those are Pony.
Sorry, I'm curious. What does the community prefer? Does the community prefer captions, or does the community prefer tags? At least what does the chat prefer? Like, again, Flux cost, everything being equal on the cost side of things. Do you guys prefer natural language captions, or do you guys prefer the Dambodu tag style? What do you guys lean heavier into, and why?
So I think the answer to this question will be tainted by the fact that not that many people can properly use flags, because for me to use flags for relatively free, I have to put over 200 LoRa's to get the amount of bus that allows me to generate on site with Flux.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Well, damn, seems like most of you guys are taggers. Okay.
Yes, but I think that's mostly because most people are usually exposed to the tag-based models, because it's way easier to use the model that if you generate 4 pictures, it costs you 25 bus. Instead, if you go
Instead
for
of
flags,
250 buzz.
yes. So what is so the cost for far? No, 130 for is usually five times the cost to do the flags generation then and to get the generation out of Pony. And when you add LoRa to the flags, and the cost goes even higher. So that's that's the main problem, that people are not exposed to the flux enough, because not many people either get or buy enough bus to properly use it.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Understood. Understood.
Just like I said, I have to get over 200 models to get the daily income of boss that allows me to fully enjoy flags.
I wish I had the power to change to cheapen the price of flux for you guys, but unfortunately that is outside of my control. But I did already send the message about trying to get Illustrious bumped up to version 0.3. So I'm trying. I will help you guys where I can.
So this is where the image that I think is a great example what I mean by what I like about Illustrious. It has
That's
it
sick.
uses it uses 2 LoRa's that I created. One for smithing that basically generates generates the smithing scene, and the fire elemental. It got two of those LoRa's combined in a very easy way. So I basically just this is like the 5th generation I did with those 2 LoRa's, and I already have the image that is perfectly fine. When I try to do the same with Pony, basically the same steps, I'm getting this mess.
Okay.
I think Illustrious is way easier to get actually cool stuff, but because it gets a lot of things better than Pony. It has a way more concept and tags baked in an actual model.
Got it. Okay. Damn, you guys are gonna convert me into an Illustrious enjoyer.
Those are mm, so those are basically three versions of the same image, because I used face fix. That is many times you will just get the broken face, but the face fix is all it needs to make it into a proper image. So I have multiple successful generations out of Illustrious, while I'm putting almost literally the same tags into Pony and adding scores that are basically nobody. I still haven't found the clear answers what the scores are for. I don't think anyone properly understands them. They are just here. That everyone just puts score 7, 8, 8 at 9 in a in a positive prompt, and 4, 5, 6 in negative prompt, and this is basically every Pony generation that is made. So the scores basically exist, and there is not that much to say about them.
Gotcha. Guys, I just since right now we're kind of hitting the peak of the stream as far as people watching goes. Shrekman's profile is not only pinned to the top of the Twitch chat, but I'm also putting it in the chat again. If you guys are not following him, you definitely should be. And Cosmic just sent me a DM on Discord and said that he's already having tons of fun with the sword clashing LoRA, and that you guys should all go and show some love to Shrekman's LoRAs, even though I'm sure they get a lot of love because he's the #1 ranked concept creator on the leaderboard. But if this is your first time, kind of meeting him and everything, you guys should go spam his model gallery if you guys make anything cool.
Yeah, I don't have any model that in particular blew up, but I just made a ton of models this month because it is mostly those models that I put this month. I'm mostly converting the pony LoRAs into Illustrious, and in most cases upgrading them, because when I started, I have absolutely no idea how to make LoRAs, and that's one of the stupid things that came from the fact that I'm not a native speaker. I was sure that comma means dot for some reason. I don't know why. So all my oldest models have have periods instead of commas. This is how you see that my model is very old. Until someone pointed it out on me in the comments, I was putting periods instead of commas. And I've been still in the process of remaking all those models that had this problem.
Hey, so KF Tiger wants to know what your top used models are, and we're gonna have to filter out the NSFW ones, but let's get like the top 5 safe for work models you have that are your most popular.
Of course, I put just the PG-13. So my most popular models are. This is the pack of the of styles that I told about this process of generating images and making my own style. But I'm now splitting those styles into separate pages that when I think the LoRAs are successful, I'm making both Illustrious, Pony, and Flux version for the styles. Second one is Anime Expression Collection that I almost converted almost entirely into Illustrious, because it started just from Pony. I think still basically only 3 models from here are missing for Illustrious.
Dude, this looks hilarious. The anime expressions one. I'm clicking through them on my screen to looking at the faces. This is hilarious.
And this one for sure I will be making Illustrious version soon. That has been Hotel Character Collection. I actually have no idea why, but both Pony and Illustrious really struggle with Has-Been Hotel and Illustrious, unless something is in this style makes it really clash with SDXL models. And this is Darkest Dungeon Characters is one of the first models I made. What?
Okay, wait. So we're gonna get to the bottom of this right now. Since
I think I saw this image that is finished.
It's okay. Wait, I'll pull it up on my screen. We'll go because we have questions. We have questions. Let me. Okay. Wait, I have it. Let me get my screen on here. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, KF.
This is the exact image I had in mind.
This isn't even Star Wars canon. This isn't. They would never. They would never.
This is leaked Disney scenario, probably.
So how dare you disrespect Chewbacca in such a way?
I have literary collection of models that is called Eldritch Horror Builder, and this is way above this.
Chewie only has one love interest, and that is Han Solo. This would never happen. No
Yes,
one.
This is AI. What is AI made for?
No one loves C-3PO like that.
So for this one is basically this basically has so many upvotes because it has a ton of versions. But I probably gonna remake this intro Illustrious next month. And this is another character pack, and this is for now my most successful mix of styles LoRA. Generally, getting to the point of this style took me way above 20,000 bus. But I think this is the style that I'm most happy at this moment. But I still think it's not this style that I want to make a main style for my checkpoint.
Well, I just went ahead and featured a couple of your top things so that hopefully we can get some more buzz in your pocket to make some more really cool LoRAs for all of us.
Unless I'm making 20 LoRAs per day, it's almost impossible for me to run out of bus. unless I start using flags, or this is the only two ways I can get a run out of bus: using flags or making 20 LoRAs daily. And usually most of my bus spending this month was just converting pony LoRAs into Illustrious. Because I have with a lot of them, I don't even need to most of them already had the good data and prepared tags. So I just put the same data and run the model. So it was very easy way to get rid of bus very quickly. So I probably, when the Pony 7 even gets on site and it will be, as far as I understand, the same caption based training that we have for flags. I think I will run out of bus it will be basically speedrun of getting the 0 bus for me, because I will retrain all the Flux model LoRAs into Pony 7.
Got it. Okay, so when Pony 7 comes out, you're gonna start transferring all your. Do you try to do all of, like, switch over all of your LoRAs, or do you only do your most popular ones?
Basically, for sure, I'm gonna start with the most popular ones, and if people gonna use Pony 7 on site, then I will slowly get every model that I think is worth it to put into Pony 7. Just like I did for Illustrious in case of my Pony LoRAs.
Cool, man. Well, since we are coming up at the top of the hour here, do you have any last gems or tips or tricks that you would like to throw at anyone that we have not put out there? I think you gave a really a large amount of stuff for people to use that want to train good Illustrious LoRAs. I might even try to convert some of mine into Illustrious and see what I can get out of it, and see if I like it more than Flux.
So when you start training the LoRA for Illustrious, I think that you should actually go to Danboru and check if what is the thing that you want has a proper tag on Danboru. So to know, because then you will know that you should.
Can you send me the link to that Danboru site in that little private chat right there, so that I can put the link in the chat for everyone? There's a little private chat at the bottom of our stream window. If you look, there's like a little box that says private chat, where if you just put the link in there, then I'll share the link with everyone. Cool. So this is where if you guys do not know, which I didn't know, but if you guys do not know, this is where you go so you can check if the tags already exist in the base model.
And if the tag already exists on Danboru, it is very likely that you actually putting the same data into LoRA that already is in Illustrious, but it will be the LoRA still can be useful because when you start adding styles on other characters, the base Illustrious can forget what actually is the concept that you want to generate. That can be example, like the concept of, like, let's say a fire elemental. So if you want to turn some other character into fire elemental, you're probably gonna need a LoRA for that. But it will be perfectly that Illustrious is perfectly capable of generating something like that without any LoRAs. So it's always worth it to check the Boru tags before actually starting the LoRA, because you first of all you getting data for that very easily, and you getting the idea that it is even the LoRA is the LoRA even needed. Because if something has 10,000 entries, it probably will generate no matter how many other LoRAs you're gonna put into your generation process.
Awesome. Awesome. Dude, you're a legend. Thank you so much for coming on and dropping the illustrious knowledge bombs on us today. And thank you for reaching out to me and asking if you could come on stream and talk about this. And that goes for any of you guys. If you guys have something to say that you think the community would benefit from, or you guys have some piece of knowledge that you want to share with everyone, reach out to me either in the Civitai DMs, better probably on Discord DMs, because apparently I get a lot of Civitai DMs from a lot of people.
Yes, there is a question about Noob AI in the chat. Noob AI is basically the also Illustrious based model, and I don't know much about this because it probably won't be able to get on the site, because every time Noob AI is brought in the conversation, people say that it has some licensing issue that makes it impossible to get on site. And for all I know, the basic difference between Illustrious and Noob AI is that Noob AI is also trained on Danporu, also is Illustrious-based model, but it has more selective and better data. So there are a lot of people that actually prefer Noob AI. But I'm lazy and I'm doing everything on site, so I'm just using base Illustrious.
Awesome. Well, dude, Shrekman, thank you so much for joining us and for oh wait, nope, that wasn't what I wanted to do. Nope, that was not what I wanted to do. Yeah. Dude, thank you so much for coming on. I would love to circle back with you and have you on again anytime you have like a really dope LoRA coming out that you're particularly proud of. We could do like a LoRA launch stream for you where you can show it off before you fully launch it. And just, yeah, anytime you have something you want to share, feel free to reach out to me and we can get you back on.
I can for sure make us prepare showing of this process of generating your style mix. And when I finally understand how to make a checkpoint, I would like to do to the point that I'm capable of explaining how to make a checkpoint. For sure, I can. I would like to tell people how to actually do the checkpoints, but for that, I actually have to learn to make my own one.
Awesome. Well, I have no doubt that you are going to make a badass checkpoint when you get around to that. Dude, thank you. Thank you. Do you have any type of social media or any place else where you post on that people should be following you, or should people just be following you on Civitai?
For now, all my social are dead. I at some points I basically gonna make a new accounts. For now, basically it's mostly Civitai. I don't. I still pronounce Civitai and Civitai.
It's all good. It's
Browsing.
it's our fault. We made the AI blue. The rest of it is in
Yes,
white. So naturally, people are going to be like Civit AI.
yes.
It's our fault. It's fine.
Schmidt said exactly the same thing.
Right on. Well, dude, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I learned a lot. I'm going to experiment with some Illustrious and see if I can throw some of the JBoog sauce into it using some tips that I got from this. Guys, if you want to rewatch any of this stream back, I'm going to hit publish on Twitch as soon as this is done, so you guys can rewatch the stream back on Twitch, and then I'm going to get it on YouTube early to mid next week. Next week, Friday, guys, Sir Dushan is supposed to be coming back, and we're supposed to unveil our video that we've been working on throughout the month that we started on the stream at the beginning of the month. I'll let you guys know about that. We still got some stuff we're trying to iron out with that, and we want that video to be a banger. So hopefully that happens. It's supposed to happen. It's scheduled to happen. If it doesn't, I'll give you guys a heads up, but we're going to do our best to get the video finished by next Friday. And that's what we're doing. Shrekman, dude, it's like what, 1 a.m. for you right now?
Yes.
Yeah. So it is 1 a.m. in Poland. It is 2 p.m. in Hawaii, which means my weekend is just starting. You are in the middle of your weekend now.
Yes, I work at night shift, so my sleep schedule is already beyond broken. So no problem.
Dude, thank you so much again for coming on. And also, too, was this your first time streaming? It was, right?
Yes, I never do a live stream before. I made YouTube videos that are heavily edited. Never done anything live.
Bro,
So somehow it was not a disaster.
No, hey, dude, this was awesome. I think you did super great, especially like considering that. But even without considering that, I think the stream was awesome. And guys, I'm pulling everyone out of their shells this year. You know, when we first were starting the guest streams, I asked the Creators Club. I asked them. I said, "Who wants to come on and be a guest on the stream?" And everyone told me no. They all told me no. But now I think thanks to what we've done with the streams over the past year, that a lot of the AI creators on the site and just AI creators in general have gotten a lot more comfortable being on camera and showing their face. And yeah, it also helps that you guys are super awesome and you guys always show a lot of love to everyone that comes on. And I don't think we've ever had any issues in the chat. And if you guys have anyone that you want to nominate to be on stream to further put pressure on them, even though they may not want to, then please, by all means, let's put pressure on the people that you guys want to hear and see from. But Shrekman, thank you so much, guys. Go follow Shrekman. His link is pinned to the top of the chat. I'm going to put it in the chat one more time for good measure. It is civitai.com/user/Shrekman17. And that is it. You can follow us on all of our socials at Hello Civitai to keep up with everything we are doing. I have some banger stuff that I'm working on in the background that I can't wait to share with you guys. And guys, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Shrekman, I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
And the last thing I can say, I basically bought a webcam just because I think it will be funnier to do it with the webcam. And also, the main reason for this stream, besides making people more aware what Illustrious is that I think it will be funny to make the head of Civitai marketing with the serious expression name Shrekman.
Mission accomplished. Wait, did you say you bought a webcam just for this stream?
Yes, it is very cheap webcam, like $20.
It's all good, man. The quality is perfect. You're a legend, dude. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you all. Ali will be back on Monday with office hours. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. If you guys make anything cool, tag us and we will share it and it can't be NSFW on Twitter. You're not sharing NSFW stuff. You guys always tag me in NSFW stuff, and because I run the Twitter, I have to look at all of it. I have to look at all of it, and some days, man.
Yes.
But okay.
I already told you, no matter how safe for work you're trying to be, people will find somehow not safe for work use for every LoRa.
Oh, and they definitely find me. So, guys, have a wonderful weekend. Civitai.com. We're out. Peace.